Today is Friday, April 17th. Coming up, author of What is Your Honor Code and Fortune 50 businesswoman Ingrid Kattal reveals the missing link to managing your mind and why it's all about you.
Welcome to Wake Up, Explore Your Passion, where we help you live your dreams and discover your life purpose. I'm your host, Ryan Ray. We are broadcasting live tonight from Pasadena, California, and around the world at wakeuptv.com. You know, no matter how bad things seem to get, our guest for today, Ingrid Kattal, she always seems to find the silver lining. She was forced to leave communist Czechoslovakia at age 3 and grew up with almost 90% hearing loss, yet somehow she still managed to come out on top as a super successful author and mother of 2. Welcome back to Wake Up, Explore Your Passion. We're here with Ingrid Kattal, author, mother. She's living the life she's always dreamed of as a successful entrepreneur. And I am excited that you are here joining us, Ingrid. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
Oh, it's fantastic to have you here. I want to ask a question that may seem obvious to you, but for those of our viewers watching at home who aren't familiar with the business world, Fortune 50, what does that actually mean?
Well, as you know, there's also Fortune 500. So this company, actually, that had bought the company that my husband and I started, is actually a Fortune 50
And so what does that really mean? Break it down for us in monetary terms.
They're huge. Terms. They're really, really huge.
Huge, huge, huge company. Now you're no longer, this is a former venture of yours. You're no longer a Fortune 50 business owner.
No, actually, the company that bought us was a Fortune 50 company, yes. My husband and I actually started a company 14 years ago. We started off from this little garage type of place with 2 steel desks, really cold, 1 car and just the 2 of us. And at the end of 14 years, ended up to have over 500 employees and a lot more cars.
14 years. Obviously, it took a little bit of time to get there. I mean, it's not something that you just try to start overnight, because so many people have these dreams and they start them and then they end.
They did. Well, yeah, we had the passion, though. We had the drive. We had the knowledge, and we had some really great people working for us.
What kind of businesses was this Fortune 50?
It was a fire life safety company.
And you were passionate about fire and safety, or what?
Well, actually, I spent most of my adult life working for people that got to maximize their profits and then go on to the next company and do the same thing. But where my husband was concerned, when he was in university, he worked for a fire life safety company. So it only made sense that when we got together, we were both making money for other people. So we're like, hey, hello, let's put 2 and 2 together and do it together. So we say, you know what, let's just go for it. Give it 6 months. If it works, great. If it doesn't, oh well, we can say we've been there, done that.
So you didn't get caught up on perfection or on absolute certainty that everything was going to be 100% guaranteed.
Well, of course we did, Ryan.
But you said, let's give it 6 months, and if it doesn't work, then we'll see what happens.
Absolutely, because you don't want to go through your life thinking, what if, what if.
What great advice.
Exactly, so go for it. What do you have to lose?
So you sold this business for...
Absolutely.
An undisclosed sum.
Undisclosed sum, exactly.
But I'm assuming if it's Fortune 50.
Let's just say we're retired. Well,
that's fantastic.
I'm not.
But congratulations, because now you have an opportunity to do so many new things.
Yes, absolutely.
And so many new passions of yours.
Yay, about time.
Right? But you can't tell me that was 14 years of drudgery. I can't believe that.
No, absolutely not. I personally loved every minute of it, because every situation truly was an opportunity to step up to the plate and say, what is the message? What do I need to learn here? And what's plan B?
Right. So you're always looking for plan B. You're always looking for...
And C and D and E and F.
Well, I know you had mentioned, what's the furthest you've gone? Because you have 26, 27 possibilities. What is it, 26, 27?
Yes, exactly. L. And do not ask me what happens after Z, okay?
You've really gone to plan L.
Yes, and it worked. Well,
eventually anything will. I mean, that's just the way it is, right?
It is. We have really a really good sense of knowing there is a solution. And if you constantly hit a brick wall, it means you're looking in the wrong direction. align yourself, and instead of going through the door, go through a window.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your beginnings, because I know
Okay.
we talked about you growing up in Czechoslovakia.
Uh-huh.
You left when you were 3. Why did you leave Czechoslovakia?
Those Russians, I'm telling you. They
Not that it was
invaded our country.
Well, not that it was your choice to leave. I mean, you're 3 years old. You didn't pack your own bags.
Absolutely, yes. We left in 1968. We moved to Canada, and we spent a number of years over there. And then I met my husband in Canada, actually. He was visiting his brother, and he actually lived here in California, and that's where I ended up, right here. Good old California.
Fantastic. And going back just a couple of steps to childhood, because you had some physical disabilities that I don't know if they were they debilitating? I mean, they.
Well, I
tell us
didn't
a little
know
bit
I
about
had
that.
them until I was 15. Was actually not them. It was one. It was my hearing, and being a tall girl, I'm 6'2", I was always put in the back of the class.
Right.
So, with being put back in the class and having a hearing disability, it seems to be quite a challenge of, you know, paying attention.
Right.
And, so then suddenly, obviously, when I start to say, huh, 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 people finally listen.
They begin to realize something's
and
wrong
to realize
here.
something is not quite right. But it was taken care of. I'm fine. And I hear things a lot now.
But obviously, you know, we all go through challenges growing up, and
Of course.
you had your share of those.
As we all do.
As we
yes.
all do, absolutely. But you know, what I'm interested in is your attitude is always an attitude of I can, I will overcome. Did you always have that same attitude?
That's a good question. You know what? I think I always have.
Really?
And because I always wanted to solve things. I'm
Even
always
when you were a teenager, an
yeah.
awkward
And I don't think I was really fully
adolescent.
aware, but I think that I always wanted to solve, and just wallowing and being a victim was just not an option.
That's something that is true to your core, it sounds.
It is.
Because
It is.
we all
It really,
have those.
really is.
We all have those core values.
Right.
And actually, speaking of, I think that's somewhat in line with your book
Yes.
that you've actually just come out with. What is your honor code? The missing link to managing your mind.
And managing we need.
Believe me, we all need a little bit of managing of our minds. How did the book come about?
We only have 22 minutes, right?
I'm not sure. So how many minutes we have?
You know what? I started writing a family book.
Uh-huh.
And the family book had another section, a parent section.
Mm-hmm.
A little parent section in the back. And I realized that the parent section became larger than the kids section, only to realize, you know what, I need to write a book about self.
Has writing always been a passion of yours?
Never.
Really?
I actually fall asleep when I read.
Well, hopefully
So don't even talk to me about writing.
Well, hopefully you're not falling asleep while you're writing.
No, not at all. So I've written about 4 books. This is the first book that's come out. It's the Self edition. I'm very proud of it.
Oh, fantastic. Well, that's an accomplishment to be proud of, for sure.
Yes.
Well, I'd like to find out, I think we may have some questions in the chat room right now, because certainly there are a lot of you at home. I think there's, Jesse, how many people do we have logged in today? Over 500 in one room and 300 in another?
Exactly. I'm seeing 558 currently in Stickcam, and some disclosed number. I can't even scroll to the bottom of the screen on the other, so
Wow,
quite a few.
Fantastic.
And in fact, we do have a question that just came in for our guest. The question is, what would you say was your aha moment where everything just kind of fell into place, and what do you think put you there?
Wow, my aha moment. Well, aha or the aha-ha. Okay, very
Better
good.
yet.
I think when I finally one day woke up and realized I get it. I really get what it's all about. And life really doesn't have to be that hard. And you know what? I need to rely on me. And it is about me. And it's about taking care of myself emotionally and physically.
That's something core to everything that you write about and everything that you believe in.
It is
It's
the core.
all about you, isn't that what one of
It is. It really is all about you. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line is about you. You have to put yourself first to take care of yourself.
From, what was the, tell us a little
It was
bit about
actually
that
a clip from the trailer of my book, For What Is Your Honor Code.
So you actually produced a trailer for the book that you wrote.
Absolutely.
Wow, what a
Why the heck not?
What a phenomenal idea. I mean, video and audio is going to get people's attention certainly more than written word in many cases.
Right. The message is very, very powerful, and in a sense, it's new.
Right.
New in terms of we are not used to hearing, put yourself first. Put yourself first. We feel that it's selfish and it's just something that you don't say. But if you really think of it, it is the missing link to managing your mind.
Right.
So anything that I can put forth, why not?
Well, I can almost imagine that some people that are out there watching in the chat room tonight might be wondering about putting yourself first when you have children, when you have other loved ones that you have to take care of. Jesse, what's going on in the chat room? Tell me, what types of questions have people been coming up with?
Sure, Ryan. Well, first of all, let me tell you, I think you'll be excited to know we've had over 7,349 people visit the chat room tonight, believe it or not, although currently we have 640 people in the chat room. So they're coming and going and just finding this exciting, I can tell you that for sure. One of the questions that I did see asked was to our guest, who was the #1 person that inspired you to get to where you are now, and what qualities of theirs did you most admire?
Well, you know what? I really, that was good. I saw that. Don't you love live TV?
Live TV, people. I'm telling you, you have no idea what goes on. One day we're going to put a webcam in the corner so everyone can see the madness that happens in here. I'm sorry. Please,
no problem.
Ingrid, it's your moment.
So, who was the one person? You know what? I don't have the one person that really has made a significant difference and has influenced me. I would say it's just a number of people, and believe it or not, it's the people that have brought me the biggest challenge in my life, the ones that I wanted to wring their neck.
You know what, and I actually have to say that those are the people that I remember most from my childhood.
Oh, yeah, and the ones that really
years.
tick you off, really you
That's
do
right.
remember the most.
That's right.
But those are actually our biggest teachers, I believe.
I couldn't agree with you more. Jesse, what else have you got for us?
Wow, very cool. Our chatter is Wolf33, and they're surprised that that was the answer. They would have thought there would have been one person that was really influential in your life. But the next question that is coming up from a Ustreamer, 57873, is asking, what's the one thing you learned before you were successful that continues to help you now that you are successful?
You know what? When we look at the word successful, I mean, I think that there are many, many different ways of looking at being successful. You can have monetary-wise, but I think really success is when you find a place in your heart where you're content and you're happy and balanced, and you don't have those demons inside going, should I not, should I not, ah! You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it's all relative. However, I do believe that I always, one way or another, on a certain level or another, I always thought that I was successful because I was always happy. Well, I know that a year later I was even happier, but you really don't know that until that comes.
But I'll say, I think that you are a person who has known who you were at your core for a long time. And one of the things that we always talk about on this show is having clarity. It seems that you had clarity. You're a person with clarity from a very young age. You always knew you enjoyed solving problems. And I think that lends itself a lot to the successes that you've had.
I think so. And I think it's also a matter of knowing who you are and being yourself.
More than anything.
And I think that's really what it's all about, to be able to be yourself. Now remember, each year we all, or each day, each week, each month, we improve. Hopefully, we improve,
That's the point.
right?
That's the plan.
So then you're thinking, oh, wow, you're having such a great day, but then the next day, it's a really great day, too. And even you going through situations, it's still a great day because you've learned something. But again, it really depends on what kind of experience do you want every second of the day.
And that's up to us. That's up to us to make that decision.
It's absolutely up to us. And it's about choice. It truly is. Now, it can really sound corny and hoaxy about, you know, being really happy and all that, but we really are, I think we need to be appreciative in what we have and around us, and because there are other people that definitely have far less.
That's definitely the truth. Listen, I want to ask you about goals.
Okay.
And I'm sure, are you a person who sets goals?
Oh,
Do you
my
set goals?
goodness. It's all about goals, and it's all about boundaries and standards.
But you also talk about releasing expectation, release your expectation for the outcome of the goal.
You read chapter 7, didn't you?
Well, I want to know, how can you set goals if you have no expectation? How does that jive? I'm not sure.
Well, you see, if you have expectations, that means that if you have expectations, that means that you really can't be yourself, because whatever comes up, you're doing the best that you can at the time that you're doing it. Just because the other day you had more energy and you had more strength to do it, it doesn't mean that you're not doing your best and you're not being yourself. Day to day, you have to have a goal in mind, but things come up.
So it's about detachment. It sounds to me like it's a detachment from the how.
Exactly. It's
The
the
goal.
detachment from the outcome.
Right.
Exactly. And that's what it is. And each day, I don't beat myself up. I'm
Right.
not angry at myself. I understand that I've done the best that I can for that period of time.
And we so often forget about the pleasant, positive things that happen day to day.
I like the way you put that. Pleasant, positive things. And
Yeah.
they really do come up more often than we think. But a lot of people just pass them right by.
That's right. I'll tell you what, Ingrid, just the other day, I shared this with you before.
Right.
I had some serious problems with my computer. And I was so focused. Jesse, you may remember that because I think you were a product I vented to you.
Indeed.
But I'll tell you what, the whole day, I could have let it be ruined by those problems that I had, but instead, I focused on the one thing. I tried to focus on the one thing that I thought was the most pleasant, and that was a hummingbird that floated around my head for about 5 minutes when I walked to the grocery store. We forget about those simple things.
We sure do.
We forget about them.
We do, and we need to remember that we can't forget about these simple things, and at the end of the day, a situation turns out to be somehow anyway,
Right.
and then it's over, and we go on to the next thing.
Right.
But do you remember how long you've spent worrying about it,
yeah.
going crazy?
Absolutely.
And something's going to happen anyway,
Right.
so what do I say? Go to Plan B. Go to
Plan
Plan
D,
C.
Plan D,
Go to
Plan
Plan
Q.
D, yeah.
Well, we actually have another clip, Ingrid, from your trailer from
good.
What is Your Honor Code? So let's take a look at that, and then we're going to go out to break. We'll be right back.
Using the honor code as a daily reminder for yourself to be centered and to live with integrity and to live with a unionship and a contract between you, yourself, and your spirit is the #1 thing.
Let's find out what's going on at home with you in the chat room. I know a lot of you are signing in and chatting tonight. Jesse, what is going on? Talk to us, buddy.
Well, let's see. Right now in the chat room, we have Lil Hart, who's actually even calling in and currently on hold, and I'm sure will talk with us soon. But we did have another question come in for our guest, which is, you mentioned that you think you should have goals, but what are your goals currently? I mean, you've already reached success in so many ways. So what's next for you, really, I guess is the question.
That's a great question, Jesse, and actually which leads us to our very next topic.
Right, exactly.
So you've got the book, What is Your Honor Code,
I
available
think she's
now.
psychic. Yeah, very good.
We have more than one psychic in the
there
room,
you go.
Cheryl.
It's okay, we still love you, though.
We still love you. What's coming up next?
Well, basically, my book has come out that you can go and find the book at your
Available
nearest
now.
store.
Okay.
And also, a spin-off of the book was going to come out of a show called The Simply True Show, coming out this summer on NBC.
Simply True on NBC.
On
and
NBC.
Who's hosting that show, Ingrid? Yours truly.
Really excited. It's going to be a really great show, and you should come.
I would love to. Can I be a guest on your show?
There you go. We'll see.
Oh my God! I just got rejected live on my own.
Never, never. It's
Well,
all
Ingrid,
how
it's
you
been a
look
blessing
at
having
it.
you here, honey. Well, next. Well, that's fantastic. So you've got the book, you've got the show.
Got the book, you got the show, and you know what? That's getting me pretty much occupied for my immediate goals.
I can only
definitely.
imagine.
I really want to spread the awareness, and we're at a time right now, this great country, that we are ready for change. We are ready for hope, and
Right.
I have a perfect platform to to continue this particular trend. Why not? Put yourself first.
You and me, we're going all the way. Well, Ingrid, Little Heart, I want to let you know, we're going to take your call in just one moment. All of you at home who are watching live, this is your opportunity to call in. We will be taking those calls in just one moment for Cheryl Booth. But first, Cheryl. Cheryl.
Yes,
Wake up, Cheryl.
I'm here.
Cheryl, I wanted to just give you the opportunity to connect right now with Ingrid and answer any questions that she might have about what's coming up in the future and what things are on her plate. So Ingrid, talk to me. Tell me what questions you have for Cheryl.
You know what? I love live TV. Anyway, I don't really have any questions, but you know what, Cheryl? Anything that comes out at you, give it to me.
Well, you strike me as someone who really is a master of creating your own reality, Ingrid, and I love that. And I tell my clients all the time, I hope that all of them actualize their own intuition to the point that they don't need anybody else to clarify a whole lot for them. And I think you're there, girl. I want to know about the impression that I got earlier for you. Is there a grandmother or maybe a great aunt in spirit for you that you feel very connected to, or that is, you know, just trying to give you support and assistance from the great beyond, basically?
Well,
did that resonate with you?
Maybe yes. Maybe no.
No.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Now, you can't be so elusive like that. We have to know.
You have to know?
Yeah.
I can't be totally predictable. Come on.
Well, Cheryl.
No, I appreciate that type of insight, and you know what? I'm just going to leave you with saying that is very, very interesting.
Well, Cheryl, I know you had mentioned something else for our guest. You had mentioned one other thing. What was that second perception you were picking up on?
That at one point in time she had perhaps done some teaching or had been involved in the educational process in some capacity, and that has been something that has carried through for her in what she's doing right now.
I think that's clearly a passion of yours.
It is. On a certain level, we all kind of want to be our own, you know, teachers and teachers for everyone else. But definitely, I guess on a certain level, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. And I used to teach underprivileged children back when I
So you actually were a teacher.
Of a certain level, yes, definitely.
Oh, great, Cheryl. Well, you did definitely hit the nail on the head with that one. We are going to be right back with calls, your live calls here on Wake Up, Explore Your Passion, and of course connecting with all of you in the chat room. I'd like to first go one last time to Jesse Martinez. Jesse, I want you to give the chatters at home an opportunity to ask any last questions they might have for Ingrid and her success and how she's exploring her passion.
You bet. Thank you, Ryan. I am looking at a question that just came in. It says, what did you have to give up to get to where you are now, and why was it ultimately worth it? And I don't think they're really talking about what you left behind, you know, as a small child, but basically like what bad habits, if you could possibly have had any, did you have to give up?
I think I had to give up popularity. Popularity
Why?
in the sense of pleasing other people, doing what other people wanted me to do, wanted me to be.
Because
it wasn't fully me.
Right.
So
what
in
an
a sense,
excellent point. What a great question. Who was that, Jesse, that asked that?
That was a Ustreamer, 561244.
Thank you, 561244.
You just usually realize that you do a lot of emotional house cleaning, and it just means that sometimes you have to let go of a lot of people in your life in order to be you, for them to accept you for who you are. But the numbers do grow, though, over time.
I think it connects with the message of your book, What is Your Honor Code? What is your honor code? What is the true core of this book that you've written? Just quickly, in a nutshell.
Sure. In a nutshell, to recap again, it's about putting yourself first, to take care of yourself emotionally and physically, and ultimately to be you. The honor code itself is actually a contract that you make yourself for yourself, of your boundaries, your policies, your standards, for everyday life, for you to be happy, balanced, and truly neutral, and neutralize your power. So, and you know, when you make a business, when you create a business, you full of policies and standards. You have to in order to achieve the bottom line. But we don't do that for ourselves. We're all over the place. We get angry, frustrated, upset constantly. There are no policies.
Well, that's certainly a great message. Be yourself. Be true to yourself. We are going to, Ingrid, thank you.
Thank you
very
so
much for being here. It was a pleasure having you here live on Wake Up, Explore Your Passion. Keep exploring your keep exploring your passion. It sounds like you've got great things coming up.
Thank
you.
We'll
be excited to look out for your TV show coming up on NBC.
Please do. Thank you.
And we will be right back in just a moment with your live calls here on Wake Up, Explore Your Passion for Cheryl Booth. The number's on your screen, 626-795-5556. Skype us at WakeUp TV. We'd love to see your smiling faces. And as we go to break, one last look at your clip, Ingrid, with some of your work for your book. What is your honor code? Available now. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ingrid Katal, and welcome to the Simply True Show. We have a great show for you today. We have musical talent, a wonderful mixed crew. We have Maurice Green, the fastest man in America.
This year you're going to be going in June for the Olympic trials. Excited? Nervous? All the above?
Not necessarily nervous, just excited. This is going to be my final competition and going to the Olympics and everything else.
And of course the new band, Mulatto.
Situation clips and a whole lot of conversation with panel and with audience. Oh.
And we just spoke with Ingrid Katal, author of What is Your Honor Code? An absolute pleasure to have her on the show with us. The question that we want to know is, who are you? No, not what is your name or what work do you do, but really, who are you? It's a question most of us spend a lifetime trying to answer. Though our personalities are colored by our life experiences, when you go down to your core, back to the very beginning, well, we're all still that very same person we were the day we were born. Ingrid Katal was a great success and a great businesswoman, not just because she had clear goals or worked hard, but because she was working hard on the inside. She knew who she is. Who are you? We'll see you back here next time on Wake Up, Explore Your Passion. And we got books for the whole staff, everybody. Woo! Good night, everybody.